Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tino, and today I'm going to be talking about iOS 14. So the interesting thing is it's been about at least 13 years since Apple originally came out with what we all remember as iOS 1. So the interesting thing is this iOS came out with the original version of Android. So I think you guys remember at least the first version of Android OS, where what we had were smaller widgets that weren't really, of course, too useful. But then Apple was still, of course, the stale Apple iOS that we still do remember to this day. So it's been about at least a week now since I've been using iOS 14, and definitely using it has been something that's been a little refreshing. The interesting part is with the new operating system is the whole fact that you do now get widgets, but the really weird thing is that the widgets that we have now are a little reminiscent of course, Android OS 1. So I'm definitely glad that they brought that as well too. When it came to actually using the software, it was definitely something that it took time to get used to, but it didn't feel like anything new, unfortunately. Well, I'm just gonna share with you guys a couple of interesting things that I have found with the operating system when I have been using it on a personal level as well too. So when it came to personal usage, one thing that I found really cool that I've been begging, that I've always seen on the Google keyboard when you can download on the App Store, is how Apple never allowed you to search for emojis. But the cool thing is now on iOS 14, you can completely search for the emojis. So I thought that was really cool that they wanted to incorporate that now. The next thing that I really found to be really interesting out of all of the features that Android has had for years is the app library. So the app library works in the sense of like an app drawer where everything is a little bit more accessible. They're just like folders, but a whole page for folders. But the easy thing is, you don't have to make the folders. So Apple actually does this natively within their software, which is actually really cool to see. But then when it actually came to customization on where you would want this specific page to be, unfortunately you have to scroll all the way to the end just to really use it. So I found that to be not only cumbersome just when you actually have to scroll all the way to the end, but then it defeats the whole purpose of convenience when it actually comes to the user experience. So I actually found out what apps that I am productive with, what apps that I use entertainment-wise, and what apps that I would actually need right away when it came to the apps that you recently used and the apps that, of course, are gonna be suggestions. And speaking of suggestions, Siri's suggestions are just as bad as her jokes. Hey Siri, can you tell me a joke?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've said it before.
One thing that I found that actually not really a lot of people have been discussing is going to be the camera. So compared to your traditional DSLRs, what I found out, DSLRs are gonna be big, old bulky cameras that aren't convenient, that aren't fast, and you have to rely necessarily just on shutter speed and of course customization. But the interesting thing is iOS has definitely made it a lot more convenient to take pictures, and it made it a lot more snappier. You're gonna have a faster shutter speed when it actually comes to taking pictures, but then when it comes to the actual aspect ratios, I actually found out that they're a lot easier to toggle than what they used to be. It used to just be where you would have to scroll constantly just to get to either square or at least I believe a 4x3. Now that's all gonna be conveniently placed at the top. Of course, I'm still gonna talk about the camera. So you guys are probably familiar with Snapchat. And the interesting thing is with iOS 14, they actually took a concept that Snapchat's had for a while. And what you're actually able to do is you're actually able to not only quickly switch into burst photography, but then you're also able to quickly switch into videos. So you're able to do that just by holding down the shutter button and either swiping to the left or either swiping to the right. So not only is it more convenient to take pictures, but then of course you don't have to constantly swipe in between menus. When it comes to personal use, one thing that I actually did find that really helped me a lot with my sleep cycle is now the Health actually sets a bedtime for you, and now it actually wakes you up in the morning all in one single configuration. I don't know if anyone else does this, but what I actually do is I at least have 3 alarm clocks to wake me up in the morning. But there's no need for that, because if you actually go to bed at an earlier time, you really don't need 3 alarm clocks to wake you up. So I'm glad Apple fixed my own personal problem. That's about it when it comes to the list of things that I found really interesting when it comes to my personal usage of the new update. So if you guys definitely did like this video or would like to learn how to update, I'll at least leave that down in, of course, the bio itself as well too. And if you guys would like to try it, please definitely do read that bio and make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this video to make sure we actually do boost that algorithm as well too. So again, my name is Tino, you guys. Thank you for joining me on my channel today, and peace out.